They say that when life closes one door, another one opens. But what happens when every door slams shut? What happens when the dreams you've nurtured for years crumble before your eyes? What happens when you pray with all your heart begging for a miracle, and all you hear is silence? This is the story of a man who lost everything: his wealth, his reputation, his family, and even his faith. A man who stood at the edge of despair, questioning whether God had abandoned him. But in that darkness, in the emptiness of everything he thought he needed, he discovered something far greater. He found his true purpose. James Carter was a man who had everything the world tells us to strive for: a thriving business, a beautiful home, a loving family, and the respect of his peers. He had built his life from the ground up, believing that his hard work and faith would secure his success. He wasn't just a businessman, he was a believer. A man who attended church every Sunday, donated to charities, and never missed an opportunity to thank God for his blessings. But sometimes faith is tested in ways we never expect. One morning, James woke up to find that his world had changed overnight. The stock market had crashed, and his investments, everything he had poured his life into, had vanished. At first, he told himself it was temporary, a setback, not a disaster. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the cracks in his perfect life began to widen. His company declared bankruptcy. Creditors lined up, demanding payments he could no longer afford. Friends who once sought his advice now avoided him, fearing they would be the next to fall. The media labeled him a failure, a man who had soared to high, only to crash back down. James had always believed that if he prayed hard enough, if he lived righteously, God would bless him. But now he found himself on his knees, pleading for a miracle that never came. "Why, God?" he whispered into the silence of his empty office. "I was faithful. I trusted you. Why would you let this happen?" But no answer came. No sudden reversal of fortune, no sign from above. And then, as if losing his wealth wasn't enough, life dealt him another blow. His wife, the woman who had stood beside him for years, packed her bags. "I can't do this anymore," she said, her voice heavy with exhaustion. "I thought we were building something together, James, but now, there's nothing left." She left, taking their children with her. James stood in the doorway of his now empty home, feeling more alone than he ever had before. And so, the man who had once had everything was left with nothing.